Hudson started 1972 in sensational style. Playing against Melbourne at the Glenferrie Oval, the Hawks champion Spearhead had kicked 8 goals late in the second term. He may have failed by just 1 goal to eclipse Pratt's record in the 1971 Grand Final, but against the Demons, he was in magnificent form.
At this stage, the Hawks not firing, but certainly doing enough to keep Melbourne out of it. Up they go, Keenan with the run-in, but Scott still manages to get the knock towards
Then tragedy
puts the ball
struck.
up towards the half-forward flank. Hudson's there and takes them out. 2 against 1, and yet he still beats them.
Slung to the ground by Melbourne defender Barry Burke, Hudson's knee twisted under him. His agony was felt by every spectator. It was to ground him for nearly 22 months, and the reigning premier faded into obscurity without him.
He's in pain, real pain. Teammate who finds him in Tuddenham. Tuddenham is skipper, looks to goals, and there's another on the board.
And at Windy Hill, Des Tuddenham took over as captain coach of Essendon and immediately made his mark after turbulent years with Collingwood. The side that finished 11th the previous 2 years responded to Tuddy's iron discipline and fearless leadership. They won the first 4 matches of the year and were destined for a place in the finals. He instilled a toughness in them that occasionally came to the boil, like this day at the MCG against Melbourne. There were no reports from this brawl. The odd broken nose and ripped Guernsey provided the only aftermath. For the VFL Tribunal, it was a hectic year. They heard 30 reports.
Chips in, takes it away from all of them.
Under captain coach John Nichols, Carlton was emerging as the premiership threat. They had good luck recruiting and finally wooed Greg Kennedy from Eaglehawk to Princes Park. Kennedy kicked a club record of 12 goals against Hawthorn this day and marked himself as one of the top finds of the season. He was to go on and kick 76 goals for the season, trailing Peter McKenna, Essendon's Centurion Jeff Lethen and Doug Wade in the goal kicking. Among other recruits to show out in 72 were John Hendry at Hawthorn, South Norm Goss, Richmond wingman Brian Wood and North forward Arnold Bridis.
O'Brien drifting forward, Jezelenko in 70. Kennedy coming in, playing for 11.
With play like this, Len Thompson won the Brownlow Medal at a canter, becoming the first Magpie for 32 years to take football's highest individual honour. Within months, Thompson had gone into retirement after calling for a pay rise. The final series underwent a facelift with the introduction of the Final 5, and for the first time the finals were played at both VFL Park and the MCG. St Kilda won the last 3 games before the finals, including a thriller at Glenferrie Oval to keep Hawthorn out of the 5. And then in the elimination final at Waverley, the Saints demolished Essendon by 53 points before a crowd of more than 52,000. Not even the rugged example set by Tuddenham could inspire the Bombers that day.
Players coming in a little bit excited, but Tuddenham taking a magnificent mark there, running back on it. Half-time fairly close. As Tuddenham comes in and puts it right through the middle. So now we see
Richmond went into the second semi-final against Carlton, having won the previous 4 encounters. The Blues led by 13 points at the beginning of the last term, but as Alex Jezelenko marked, the siren sounded with scores level.
Jezelenko at half. The siren has sounded. It's a draw. Carlton and Richmond have drawn on 8 goals, 13, 61 points. So next week, the kick from Jezelenko after the siren won't score, and it's a draw.
It was the 5th finals tie in VFL history and shocked the experts who had installed Richmond as the hottest premiership favourites in years. For field umpire Ian Coates, the action was only over momentarily. As he walked from the ground, he was attacked from behind by an enraged spectator.
I didn't see what happened.
It was a nasty scene.
The result of the match, umpire Coates, I don't know.
From violence to beauty. These were the marks of the year 1972. Richmond won the semi-final replay easily before 92,000 people at the MCG the following week, while Carlton came into the grand final the hard way, eliminating St Kilda in the preliminary final. It was the grand final that rewrote the record books.
I'll give you the big tip. Knock away there by Jones.
It had everything. Hard clashes.
Long run, up to the pocket. David McKay all his own.
John. Plays down the other end. Bank on the outer side of the ground. Sheedy and Dool doing battle. Oh! Walsh of Richmond pushing the ball in front of him. He's got possession. Oh, he's unloaded. Ball to the half-forward flank for Carlton on that outer side. And Hunter one-hander. And look at this.
It's right down, but it's all Richmond. Boyle cuts the ball away from his teammate in Clay. Clay gets a big knock. It goes back to Robert Walls. Walls has his head to the corner, but it's called play. Goes driving down, looking for John Nichols, and Boyle
Brilliant goals.
high, and the big fella's almost taken.
Alex Jesselenko kicked 7 goals. Captain coach John Nichols and Robert Walls 6 apiece.
Goes wide to the flank, and you'll find Robert Walls here. Walls got the run in on Hunt. Runs around everybody there. Comes in now towards goal. 5 years.
Carlton's winning score of 28-9-177 was the highest grand final score ever. Richmond's 22-18-150 would have won the Tigers the flag in any previous season.
It was a real freak sort of a game, particularly by Carlton. I didn't think the scores were any real indication of the play because I thought they had played us, by many, many goals. I thought we were struggling all day long, and I know the scoreboard only showed, I think, 27 points at the end of the day, but I think that we were probably, say, even a bit blessed to get within that.
We just concentrated mainly on putting our strengths in our forward line, that we had to, just going with one thing. Our defence, we didn't worry as much about our defence, and we just concentrated on trying to kick, a bigger score than Richmond, which probably sounds, an old cliche, but that was the style of play, really, in those eras.
Back towards the centre of the ground goes Jones.
For the newly crowned premiers, 1972 had a chilling anti-climax at the Australian Team Championships in Adelaide. There, the Blues met one Malcolm Brown. It was a meeting that left an impression on many of them. To make matters worse, Carlton lost the fight to the bulky West Australian and the championships to North Adelaide. For many Victorians, this telecast from Adelaide gave them their first sight of the outrageous Mr. Brown. Within 2 years, he was throwing his weight around in the VFL.